Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is third video for .NET 0 to Hero series. In first video, we have discussed about IL code, CLS, CTS, platform dependent and independent one. Then in the second video, we have discussed about the procedural programming approach versus object-oriented programming approach. Then we discussed about the static keyword, and also we created one simple hello YouTube applications. Now in the third video we are going to basically discuss about the data types. Apart from that, we will discuss what is the difference between value type and reference types, heap versus stack memory, nullable types, string immutable, boxing and unboxing. So let's start. So basically, what is the data types? So if I will go back to my our previous video, when we discuss about the class, we said like class can have members and that members is nothing but like a variables and functions. So here I'm talking about the variables because in class we need some mechanism to hold the data. For example, we are having a student class. So student class will have different labels, right? Student will contain different information. That labels roll number, first name, last name, date of birth, all these labels, all this information should be held by some mechanism so that we can do by variables. And what kind of data variables can hold, that is defined by data types, because date of birth is a different kind of data, right? Roll number is a different, it is a number. When first name, last name is a different type of data. So what kind of data a variable can hold, that is defined by data types. So as per the Microsoft, there are two types of data types. So if you will see here this Microsoft documents, number one, we can see it is a value type, and below if you will see, this is a reference type. So these are the different data types. I will share this link in the description. You can maybe go through it. But what is the difference between value type and reference type? First, let's try to understand. So let me go to here. I'm saying data types can have two types, right? Value type and reference type. So let me type here value type. And let's say this one is a reference type. And let me add few value type as well. So if you will see here, this all are the value types: boolean, byte, s byte, characters, decimals, doubles. These all are the value types. And also, before I will discuss about the value type and reference type, just want to share one more thing here. If you will see, it is saying C# type keyword and .NET type. So what is the difference between this? This is also we have discussed in our previous first video only, when we discuss about the CLS and CTS, right? When we discuss about the IL code and then CLS and CTS. So when we discuss about the CTS, we are saying common type of systems. So when our language compiler, in this case C# language compiler, compile the code and convert it to IL code, we are saying like let's compile in the uniform way and follow the CTS and CLS specifications. So this .NET type is a CTS specification, and based on that, like if you are declaring in the C# bool, then as per the CTS it will be like system.boolean. Okay, yeah, so now let me go back here And here I am adding a few value type, which is nothing but a variable, which is a data, right? So integer is one uh, data which is a value type. Apart from that, bool is also value type, and character, that is also value type. Similar to that, if I will come here, so string is a value type, object, or I will say class, is a reference type, and interface, dynamic, array, etc. All these are reference type. So what is the difference between this and why we are coming with this approach like value type and reference type? So basically, whenever we are using any data type which is a value type, then when will we use that data in our application, that variable stores their value directly on stack memory. So there are two types of memory, stack memory and heap memory. Let me draw this as well for better understanding. I'm saying stack, and here I'm saying heap. So when we are using a value type, it directly stores value under the stack. So suppose if I'm using integer in my class, I'm giving name like integer I, and I'm saying I equals to 10. So what will happen? Directly it will store under the stack. So it will come under the stack memory and it will say I equals to 10. Similar to that, maybe I am saying boolean b equals to false. So it will directly come here and here it will say b equals to false. But when we are using that is a value type which is directly storing under the stack. But when we are using a reference type, for example, string, maybe I will say string s equals to Tapan. Then in this case, it will not directly store under the stack. What it will do is it will just add a reference of this variable under the stack. So it will just say just add a reference of reference type. So maybe I will say s. So reference of s will be available here. And actual value s equals to Tapan, this will be stored under the heap. Similar to that, if we are using any object class or interface, this will also follow the same patterns, like it will only store the reference under the stack and actual value will be stored under the heap. And the reason behind this, because stack, most of the things, if you will see here, we are using the value type and which is directly storing under the stack, but few are storing under the heap memory, and there is all are bulky objects. So whatever like string can have very long length data, object class interface, all this can be a very bulky thing. So in that case, because stack have limited size and we cannot go We cannot store everything under a stack because the stack will be overloaded, right? So in this scenario, what Microsoft did is Microsoft is saying, let's divide it and in the value type and reference type and store all these objects like integer, boolean, byte, etc. This will not be that much big directly under a stack, but when we are talking about the string, object, interface, etc. So just add a reference under a stack and actual value stored under the heap memory. And when we will use this, suppose if I'm using this in my class student, if I'm using integer I, so it will directly go to the stack first and it will look for that and directly will get the value 10 here. So it will get value 10 here. But when we talk about the string s, suppose if I'm using string s here, so again it will what will happen, it will not go directly to the heap because heap is having only values. So what will happen actually, again it will go to stack only and it will check for like what is there, like s is there or not. So it will find the reference of s and then from this reference it will fetch the value and then it will return the value for string s. It will say like s equals to Tapan. So obviously when we are using a reference type, comparatively it will be slow, right? Because when we are using, when we are using a reference type, comparatively it will be slow, right? Because in value type, directly it is getting value from stack. But when we are using a reference type, it is first going to stack, taking the reference, then going to heap memory and getting the value and returning it back. So comparatively it will be slow. Okay. So now we have discussed about the data types. Let me change the color. We have discussed about value type and reference type. We have discussed about heap and stack. Yeah. So now we are going to discuss about these three things: boxing and unboxing, string immutable, and nullable types. So for this, let me open the online editor. Maybe I will say online C# editor. Let's take this first one only. So when I'm saying like string is a immutable type, while we say like class is mutable. That means value will be changed for this, but a string will not be mutable. Like a string value will never be changed. So let me show you with some coding examples. And usually people ask this in the interviews as well. Like they write this code and ask like what could be the output for that. So let's say I'm declaring integer a equals to 12. I'm saying integer b equals to a, and then I'm saying integer b equals to 15, and then let's change this to value types. Console.writeLine A and console dot write line B. So this will print A and B value, right? So before I run it, what is your guess? What will be the output? Here we are assigning 12 on integer A, then we are saying like, so it will store under a heap, right? A equals to 12. Then we will go to the B, then we are saying B equals to A, so it will get the value 12. Then, oh no, it is not. Then what we are saying is, now we are changing this B to 15. So we are saying like B equals to 15. And now I'm just saying like value types and I'm printing it this two variable. So let's me run this. So we can see our output is 12 and 15. So what happened, like it went and stored under a stack and saved like A equals to 12. Then it's saved like another copy, not the same, like new copy for variable B under a stack, and it said like B equals to 12, and now we change this 12 to 15. So now B is 15 and we are printing 12 and 15, right? But when we talk about the class, that is a mutable one. So let me create one class here. Maybe I will say public class test, which is having some property. What is property? Don't worry about it now. Maybe we will discuss it in some upcoming video. So don't worry about it. But let's say that is the attributes of that class. So I'm saying integer a, and I'm adding get set here. Similar to that, I'm saying no, I will keep only one here. Now what I'm going to do is, let me copy this, paste it here. I will say reference type, and here, because class we already discussed, right? Class is a blueprint, but to use it we need to create an object of it. So how can you create an object of class? We can do it like this: test. Then we need to give the name of the class. Maybe I will say T, and then equals to, then I will say new test. So this will create an object of the class. And then I will say T dot A. A is a property under this class, right? Which is an integer type. So I am saying T dot A equals to 12. Now I am creating another class object T1, and I am, instead of new test, I am saying equals to T. So I am adding this value under this another test class object, and then I am saying T1 dot A equals to 15. And now I am printing T dot A value and T1 dot A value. So basically what we did for the value type, same thing we are doing for this reference type as well. We are creating this test object here, which is a name of T, and then we are assigning a value 12 here. Now we are creating a new test T1 object, and we are assigning that, like here we are saying B equals to A, right? Similar to that, we are saying T1 equals to T, and then we are changing a T1 dot A equals to 15, and I'm printing this value. And believe me, this type of question you will get in the interview. So people may write and ask you. So make sure you understand this So now let me try to run this, and before that you can guess what will be the output. 12 and 15, right? Similar to this, but you will surprise. Let me run this. So here we are getting a 12 and 15, but here we are getting the 15 and 15. So what will happen, like here we created a new instance, and here we are saying t1.a equals to 12, but here we are saying t1 equals to t. So this is a reference type, right? So it will just like both will be use the same reference, but value will remain same for both of this. And now we are changing the value t1.a equals to 15. So it will change the value for this as well. And now if I will print it, it will say 15 15, but in this case it creates a new copy, so because of that we are seeing 12 and 15. So now let's discuss about the nullable types. So when we talk about this value types like integer, float, double, boolean, etc., all these are by default non-nullable. That means it will always have some default value. For example, integer will have default value of 0. So if I will try to assign the null value here, let me try to change this to null, and if I will run this, you will see I will get some error, right? I am saying like cannot convert null to int because it is a non-nullable value type. So to resolve this from C sharp 2.0, I guess, uh, we are having nullable types, right? So if I want to assign the null value in any circumstance, if I want to add the null values in integer, float, string, boolean, or any kind of value types, then I can use this nullable types. And to do this, I just need to add this question mark here uh, after this like int question mark, and then it will become a nullable value. Now if I will run this, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is saying like cannot implicitly convert because we are assigning it, right? So let me change this also to be nullable 1, and now let me run this. So we can say that I am not getting any exceptions now. So this is a nullable types. And the last thing which I want to discuss is boxing and unboxing. So this will also you may get in interview like what is a boxing and unboxing, and it is very simple. So converting a value type to reference type is a boxing, and converting a reference type to value type is unboxing. So for example, there's a one data type which we call it as an object. So object can hold any type of data. So I will say object t equals to 12. So if I am doing this, so 12 is a type of integer, right? But object is a type of reference. So if I am doing this, here I am doing boxing because I am converting this value type to reference type. So now this is a boxing. But here if I will say integer k equals to t, this will throw exceptions. I need to, if I will run this, let me try to run this. Okay, t is already declared. First thing is t new. Okay, and let me run this. And also this is also t new. So this will throw exceptions because cannot implicitly convert type object to int. Explicit conversion exists. So we need to explicitly say like because it object can have any type of data, right? So when I'm converting it back from object to integer, I need to say like this is a integer type of data. So how can I cast it? How can I convert it? I just need to add a prefix like int here, and now if I will run my code, it should execute successfully without any exception. And this action, when I'm converting my reference type to again value type, is called as a unboxing. So now you know converting value type to reference type is a boxing, while converting a reference type to again value type is known as a unboxing. So now we have done about the okay and nullable types. And also I want to share like string is a immutable type. So even it is a reference type, but it is a immutable. That means like it will always suppose if I am declaring a string s equals to Tapan, and then I am saying s equals to test s plus test, and then string s2 equals to s and s2 equals to abc. So always, as it is a immutable type, it will behave similar to the this case. It will behave similar to the your value type when we discuss about the integer, right? Always it will behave a new copy, although that value will still be there in the heap memory, and until the garbage collector is clearing it. And for garbage collector and clearing stuffs, that is a huge topic. So we will discuss about that in maybe in some upcoming video. But so far, this is all for today's video. I hope you like the video, and if you have any query or questions, feel free to put your questions in the comment box. And if you like this video, also don't forget to add your uh, comments. That will motivate me to continue and create a similar kind of video. And at the last, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.